Welcome to the Texas Goat Radio Show. I'm your host, Matorius. This is a post on Reddit by Public Freakout. Well, actually, it's by Fresh Jive on Public Freakout.
You know how crazy I am? Hello, lady. You're a pretty lady. A real man ever seek you out? I want a strong man to touch me. Don't touch me. Who do you think you are? You're not strong enough for me. You're not.
The pilot of a Southwest Airlines flight from Orlando to New Orleans requested that a passenger be taken off the aircraft after he started yelling obscenities from within the plane. A 44-year-old man was trying to share his political and religious beliefs with other travelers, which was creating a terrifying commotion.
Okay, so one thing that I know about this already, just by context and reading certain comments, is that this person mentions Owen Benjamin some point throughout this altercation. Now, I was going to let this play out and then comment later on, but I also read something, a comment where it said, whether this is a true story or not, or they were just making a point. They said, I was at the mall yesterday and then my brother was with me and he started yelling, Jesus made me say all these things. Now, was that Jesus' fault or was that my brother's fault? Schizophrenic behavior does not, it's not Owen's fault. This isn't because of Owen. Well, just a few seconds into this video, you hear the narrator say, the guy was trying to tell everybody his religious and political beliefs. Now, one of the things that Owen does, even amongst his family, to the point of getting kicked out of a family dinner, Christmas or Thanksgiving, I'm not too sure, but it was one of those. He was not able to sit down and have a civilized conversation that wasn't about religion or politics with his own family. And so is that Owen's fault? I think one could say arguably.
Man screamed at passengers, if you were a man, you wouldn't be wearing masks. Police boarded the plane to escort him off. The subject resumed his strange tirades after being taken out by the cops.
You're bold. This guy's
Cut it up.
Let's go.
Cut
You're
it up.
tough. I like
Cut it up.
talking.
Cut
I'm
it
going to
out.
sue you.
All right.
You're getting sued.
Let's
I'm going to be a multi. Why are you touching me?
You're going to hit that deck in a minute.
I believe you.
You got to hit that deck.
I believe you.
Don't
I
ask
believe
somebody.
you.
Don't
My
ask
dog's
somebody.
tougher than you.
Okay.
Take your mask off.
I need to see your ID. Don't play with me.
Look, I'm not. You're a big guy. You think I'm afraid of you?
I don't want you to be afraid.
Dying for the Lord.
All right.
I will lay down my life.
Hey, can you guys send one of y'all reps to see if y'all want to put him on a no-fly list?
Well, I just need his name. That's all I gotta do. Once I get his name, that's it.
You're the only one with the boss. He thought he was tough.
Here's the situation so far. Now, if you're a Christian, if you believe in Jesus Christ of Nazareth, you shouldn't be ashamed of the gospel. You shouldn't be ashamed of your Lord and Savior. But there's a time and place for everything. And on an airline, probably not the time nor place to act a fool. And this dude, so far, seemingly is acting like a fool.
Where is he? I thought you were tough. Stand right
Hey,
here.
you better stand back over there. If you come up here, you're going to get hurt.
He won't touch me. You don't know who I talk to. You watch pornography, didn't you?
Don't touch me again.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Touch me again.
If you
He said, you watch pornography, don't you? He also said right before that, you don't know who I am. So once again, it's easy to say, well, schizophrenic behavior is not Owen's fault, but listen to what he's saying. He does act the way Owen does. Now, would Owen act this way in public? Possibly not. Or he would have already been caught doing that.
You think you're bigger than God. Are you bigger than God?
You understand what I just said?
I can do whatever I want. This man ain't even half the man as you. You're the biggest man in here. And look, he got his. I'll talk to you.
Don't touch me.
Dude, what you gonna do? Do it. What y'all heard on TV last night? It's done.
Put your hands behind your back.
So I'm not too sure what happened there. Now, I used to work in a facility to where it was called, there were 3 reasons why I would lay my hands on you. 1, if you were going to hurt yourself, or if you were actively hurting yourself. 2, if you were actively hurting somebody else. Or 3, if there was a high probability of the 2. Now, the way that guy just quickly approached him, I think that's a matter of interpretation. Was that a de-escalation of the situation? No, it wasn't. But, I mean, like I said, that's a matter of interpretation. I would assume. I don't think that guy got in trouble for that.
Put your hand behind your back.
Y'all are assaulting.
Put your hand behind your back.
Where's the real man? Any real man passed this test. Y'all. Oh, what did I say? Oh, yeah, this is great. Y'all are all done. Any woman in here, this is what a man does for his daughter. Anybody looks at a daughter with lust in their heart,
what started this situation? I'm sure that there's articles out there that I'll be able to find, but it really kind of sucks that the camera started after he was already being escorted off the plane.
Thank you, Owen. Owen Benjamin told me to say that. He's going to be my best friend. You know what?
Thank you, Owen. Owen Benjamin told me to say that. He's going to be my best friend, is what this guy just said. That one comment that I read, is Owen Benjamin to blame for schizophrenic behavior? Is this schizophrenic behavior, or is this just delusional behavior? Is this just misguided behavior? I know that's probably a fine line, but I would almost argue this dude is not schizophrenic. He's addressing everybody around him somewhat in a reasonable way, depending on the situation. It's just the situation does not call for him to be acting the way that he is.
Man is a real man. This is normal. This is a conversation. You just don't have any guts, do you?
See, that's another. He said, this is normal. This is just a conversation. If you listen to Owen Benjamin for as long as Owen has been out there, it's not that far of a stretch to believe that somebody actually gets brainwashed, manipulated into thinking this is normal behavior. Why? Because this is almost how Owen acts. Not in person, because he hides on his LARPing farmstead. But he does exude these character traits. For sure, 100%.
Why don't y'all answer your phone? Somebody buy my parents a cell phone. I don't.
Please.
What?
Please.
Real men
If you want
seek
your
me
dad
out.
to see you again,
My dad will see me again.
Stop.
Hello, lady. You're a pretty lady. A real man ever seek you out and come to you like a man? I want to talk to you seriously. I really do. You can't watch me, can you? Oh, your mask is coming down. Well, the end is going to be down. You hear me? As soon as you can't set it down. Pull your mask down. Pull it down. Pull it down, please.
You have to believe, or you have to understand, especially in the context of, is this Owen's fault or not, is that during 2020, that worldwide catastrophe, Owen used that as an excuse to pitch an investment scheme and made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, and then used it for himself. He pitched it as a security blanket, as a safety net, in case the world collapsed. He was anti-mask, which there's a ton of people that were anti-mask. I may or may not have been one of those. But he also told a story of him verbally assaulting an elderly person in a post office. Told a story 4 times within 24 hours. And by the 3rd or 4th time, you realize that he was actually trying to turn it into an actual stand-up comedy bit. Like, he was working on it as far as a bit. But the first 2 to 3 times, He was just telling a story of him verbally assaulting an elderly person and bragging about it. At one point, he said, "It made me so happy to talk to this elderly guy this way that it made me high," is what he said. And so not only does he support this type of public outburst and behavior, he actually does it himself and then brags about it.
Look, are you gonna take these handcuffs off of me yet?
Maybe over here, but if you walk with me.
He's not a real man. He's gotta pass the test. You don't touch me. Hey, you're not touching me. Take your mask off and you can tell. No, you're not touching me. You're not strong. I want a strong man to touch me. Don't touch me. Who do you?
And that's another what is that? Consistency with the types of men that are attracted to Owen over a long term. And I say over a long term. I don't know. That's probably a very problematic thing to say. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I'm gonna. I mean, they're called bears. They call themselves bears.
Think you are? You're not strong enough for me. You're not. You know how
And he just said, you're not strong enough. I want a strong man to touch me. That's what this guy just said.
crazy I am? I'm crazy like that.
Yeah, you're pretty crazy.
Yeah, you let go of me. You're gonna break my arm. You wanna break my arm? You're gonna get sued. No. You better let go. You can't hurt me. You're a do it. Everybody told you that your whole life.
You gotta stop resisting.
You are. I can kick your ass. Take the handcuffs off if you're a man. I'll show you what a man is. You won't even take your mask off. I'll never.
I've seen hours and hours and hours of Owen Benjamin footage, and this dude is almost, I mean, if you're throwing a dart on a dartboard, and Owen he's not that far off from the dialogue and the character of Owen Benjamin. He really and honestly is not that far off.
Wrong, bitch.
Hey,
You want to step to me, motherfucker?
Hey, Chad. Chad, look at me.
That's why I'm here to call you out. I did that to call you
calling me out.
because you're a bitch. Everybody told you that your whole life.
Chad, this way.
You know what? They're wrong. Look what you're doing to me.
What am I doing?
You're grabbing a man with a mask on. That's all you're fucking doing. You're a pussy. Never forget that. You're a fuck. You're never coming to my house. This man. Oh, you got a mask on? You're not coming over. No. Okay, either you're gonna have to be man. A man without a mask. Drag me outside. A man without a mask. Drag me outside. No. You don't know how strong my father is.
Take him down.
No,
Take him down.
You can't. You can't take me down. Look at this. All backwards. You. Oh, you're a man without a mask.
That's it. Yes, that's it.
That's what I did for my daughter. Any man, you are not a bitch anymore.
I wonder what he's talking about. That's what a man does for his daughter. And then he mentioned something about a man who lusts after his own daughter or something earlier.
I'm crazier than my dad was.
I'll find it. Alright, you gonna walk, Chad?
Yeah, let me walk, man. I'm gonna show you.
Never mind.
Okay. So, who you had to answer to? Who do you answer to? Oh, look. I'm so strong I have to be tied up.
In front of you.
Sir, over here, needs your chest. Needs your chest. Get on the mask. I'll do it. Where's the man? He likes that. I like you. You have a son? How old is your son? Walk out of here. You're growing. You're passing the test.
Now we can take him back.
There you go.
There you go. My friend. It's hot out here. Are you in charge yet? Yeah. You are? That's where we're going to.
He said, "You're growing, you're passing the test." That's another Owen-ism, acting as though he is the mark for anybody else to pass through or to hit. He is the ultimate approval, narcissistic behavior that's just... I'm not totally convinced after watching the majority of this. I'm not convinced that this dude's schizophrenic. Obviously, I'm not a licensed professional by any means. But, I mean, watching as many hours of Owen as I have, it's just... Because I'm not convinced that Owen Benjamin's schizophrenic. Or even crazy, for that matter. I just think that he's an asshole, to be honest with you. I just think that he's full of horse hockey, and yeah, he's just not a good person.
I appreciate it. I hope I did. I don't care what anybody thinks. You know that. My father, you better come to my house coming her way. Good afternoon. You want to talk to her? Steve Light. We have one gentleman for safe book, please. My father's going to bail me out. I'm a real fucking man. And real men, their dad gets that.
He said, "My father's going to bail me out because I'm a real fucking man." This is what he just said.
At their lowest point. And I will go to the lowest point.
Battery LEO, assault LEO, disorderly conduct.
Oh, so the dude got arrested for battery of a law enforcement officer and assault of a law enforcement officer.
He was arrested after he was accused of causing a commotion on the flight. The man is facing multiple charges, including assault on a law enforcement officer and disorderly conduct and battery on a law enforcement officer.
You know how crazy I am?
All right, so let's go through some of the comments. Possibly. See, Mel Karen has a meltdown at the airport. He really sounds like he wants a real man. My father is going to bail me out because I'm a real man. I want a strong man to touch me, you silly... I don't think he actually said silly goose. I want a strong man to touch me, too. So many classic lines. I want a strong man to touch me. You've come to the right place. Welcome, 33rd Street Jail. They should have put a mask on him. What were the two lumps on the back of his neck? I think those were moles. Why am I not surprised he's an Owen Benjamin fan? My first and only thought, it's been a while since I've heard about that guy. I just checked his Twitter and he's been going off on Jewish conspiracy nonsense all night. Dude is fully lost in the sauce. Let's see, removed. Of course his name is Chad. Removed. I thought I heard that too. The guy isn't so much a Karen as a guy with massive mental health issue. I would almost argue against that. I don't personally think, especially knowing that he has had some kind of influence by Owen. If you want to see what a human being is capable of under just a little bit of stress and manipulation, go look up the Stanford prison experiment. It was supposed to go on 2 weeks, and I think it lasted 3 days. People are capable of insane behavior without necessarily being insane. They put up with this psychos way too long. We give people like this, Hadal and Adavan, in the hospital, yeah. Guy sounds like Jason Bateman. This man is having a psychotic break. An airplane is a bad place to do that. I don't think he was having a psychotic break. I honestly don't. If you listen to some of the things that he said, it was pretty much just Owen Benjamin talking points. Looks like Senator Hawley had a rough flight to Missouri. Over under on how many Andrew Tate videos this guy's has seen. Probably not that many. Probably Definitely a bear. Definitely a long-term bear. Been listening to Owen for probably 3 or 4 years at this point, I would imagine. All right, y'all ready? Everybody take a shot whenever he says man. Oh, you're getting drunk. No fly list. That fast. Sheesh. Sure, there are mental health issues at hand, but sometimes just laugh a man down to put him to place is better. He is having a tantrum like a toddler. Attention as a reward, not a punishment for him. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of Owen doing a video, what was that, on Thanksgiving or Christmas, because he got kicked out of his family dinner because he couldn't sit down, shut up, and allow everybody else to enjoy the moment with their family. You don't know how strong my father is. Yeah, the beef footage is terrible. That's methed up. So, what was on TV the day before? Seems like a hot button issue. Probably just Owen Benjamin, to be honest with you. Whenever you listen to somebody, whenever I say listen, people tend to be like sponges. And so if you're listening to somebody as entertainment or openly being influenced by them, somebody such as Owen Benjamin, who exudes terrible, terrible characteristics and traits, lack of honor, lack of morality, lack of ethics, you might end up like this guy. So, yeah. Ugh. I hate these AI-generated stock footage mixes. Just post the regular video, people. I don't know what that means. Bet $1 that dog tag necklace says something about Jesus. Probably. This silly guy has a name so ridiculous it sounds made up. Chad Brox. Source. Okay, let's look at this this news article. We'll end with that. Southwest passenger refusing to wear mask arrested after threatening. Orlando police officers say. Police. Man screamed at passengers, if you were a man, you wouldn't be wearing masks. That's a Owen Benjamin talking point, because he called it a face diaper or something like that. Published February 25th, 2022 at 7:34 p.m. A Louisiana man was taken off a Southwest flight at Orlando International Airport Thursday after he reportedly became irate over being forced to wear a mask, according to arrest affidavit. Police said 43-year-old Chad Brox of River Ridge, Louisiana, was arrested after he was accused of causing a commotion on the flight, yelling and screaming at passengers, "If you are a man, you wouldn't be wearing masks." According to the arrest affidavit, police boarded the plane to escort Brox off it. The officers say that's when Brox walked toward them in an aggressive manner, as if he was going to strike them. Once officers got Brox off the plane, he continued to shout profanities at both the officers and passengers, and once again screamed that if you are a man or a woman, you shouldn't wear a mask, an affidavit shows. Police also say Brox poked one of the officers, and when he was told not to do that, he took on a fighting stance with his hand ready to strike. That's when one of the officers took him to the ground, the affidavit said. Brox is facing multiple charges, including battery on a law enforcement officer, assault on law enforcement officer, and disorderly conduct. Now, we just watched that video, and it did happen quickly. I'm not going to go back and rewind it, but I do not remember him poking the officer. That was whenever I was talking about the 3 reasons why somebody would lay their hands on you, like a law enforcement officer, anybody who is in charge of actually protecting you from hurting yourself or other people. But he very well may have. Anyways, I'd like to hear your comments and what you think about this situation. And if for some reason this dude comes across this video, I'd be down to have a conversation with you. This is the Texas Goat Radio Show, and I'm your host, Pretorius. As always, till next time.